relax, take a deep breath in, and get ready for the podcast.
Starting in 3. Oh, maybe we should get some mood lighting in here, man.
Oh, should we do that?
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Have we go?
We've set the scene.
We have.
Gone for some blue moonlight. I can't say the word. Mood lighting.
Not moonlighting. Do you know
Moonlighting. It's kind of like moonlighting. I think that's probably why. It's a bit like blue moonlight, isn't it?
Oh man, I might invest in one of these lights
It's nice to see your face.
from above, so you can't see my double chin.
No, it's nice to see it in person. With the last few of these podcasts, we've done it over the internet, so it's nice to have you here in person in the same room.
Yeah, it's been virtual, as you say. As we know,
On that COVID thing.
what's that? Long distance memory. Right? But as you all know, you've been away on holiday. I haven't killed you. You are still alive.
I'm still here, people. But yeah, so apologies to everyone that regularly tunes in. We took a little bit of a break. We've kind of taken a bit of a back step. We had a bit of a chat today about it, and we want to come back to the podcast and make it bigger and better, and really focus on that. So I think that's what we're going to try and do over the next few weeks or so. Try and get some really good guests on board and make it really exciting for people listening and us as well. We want to make it really good fun for us as well, not just kind of making content for the sake of it.
Yeah, definitely. There was a chance to recharge our batteries, so to speak. But how was your holiday? Was it good?
It was nice, man. It was very hot. It was like between 30 and 35 degrees every day. So it was like some days it was a bit too hot. And when you've got a 5-month-old baby, it's taking her on holiday for the first time and on a plane for the first time in the heat. It was kind of hard, but it was a really nice time. We had a really nice relaxing time, and went to the beach and done lots of nice stuff. Went to some nice restaurants and just chilled and done some karaoke in the bar.
You love your karaoke. Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Love it.
That sounds good, man. That sounds good. I definitely need to get away at some point soon. Things that don't involve DIY and ripping up my flooring, because the house is ancient and it's got woodworm.
So what's been popping in your world for the last few weeks?
Well, okay, so I own a fairly old house built in 1930s, and this is going back probably about 2 months ago. So in our dining room we have just the original wooden floor, and one morning me and Sam made breakfast, set it out at the table, and then I go to sit down on the bench. She's sitting on one side of the bench, and I go to sit on the other side of the bench, and all of a sudden the legs of the bench go through the floor, and I go flying backwards, nearly knocked all my breakfast all over the place. And I was just like, Jesus, have I put on that much weight that I'll go through the floor now? And
no.
Pulled the bench out of the floor, and that's when I discovered that the floorboards were all rotten. So I had to the past few weeks ago rip up the entire old floor, get rid of it, make sure there's nothing else rotten, and then just lay a new floor in.
That'd have put a few hairs on my chest doing that.
I tell you what, I did a stupid thing of I've been using hammers and saws and that for absolute years, and when I was doing the laminate, for whatever reason, I completely missed the block I was meant to hit, and I twatted my finger. I got the biggest blood blister ever, and my whole nail was all swollen up. So I was like, you need to stick a pin in it. I was like, I'm not sticking a pin in it. I was just gonna leave it. And,
how's it today?
I'm completely healed, man.
Oh, you don't need me to kiss it better?
You can still kiss it better if you want. I mean, I'm not gonna say no. So
So we had this kind of weird thing last night. I wasn't going to talk about it because it's not really that much of a big deal.
Yeah.
But considering this is a ghost paranormal podcast. It's genuinely probably nothing, but just last night, something just weird happened. I just got this weird feeling. I was like, it's just weird. It's just strange. So, Sammy, we were home yesterday just doing all sorts of bits. And then she comes up to me just like at night time, just before we go to bed. She's like, why did you put Violet's little book in the bathroom? Like a little, just, she's got a little book. And I was like, I didn't. I was like, what do you mean? So I came in there and the book's just tucked in on the, the radiator, the towel rack thing. And the book's just tucked in there. And it's like, I was like, I didn't put that there. She was like, well, neither did I. I was like, well, if I saw it on the floor, I wouldn't put it in there. I'd put it in the bedroom or I'd put it downstairs.
Yeah.
And she was like, same. I wouldn't just put it in the bathroom. And, there's no reason for it to be in the bathroom. She wasn't in the bathroom reading her book or anything. None of us took it to the bathroom. It's just really strange. Like, I just got this weird feeling. I was like, what? Like, none of us can explain it. I said to her, one of us has probably just done it subconsciously.
Yeah, you're taking a pill or something, you need some reading material and you forgot your phone.
Yeah, go read, this is a cat. Feel the cat's fluffy ears. Next page. Oh, this elephant's ears are so rough.
It's actual sandpaper.
Yeah. It was just weird. Like, I just can't. Neither of us could explain it. How we got there. Like I said, one of us probably just did it subconsciously without thinking. But
yeah, it's a bit creepy, man.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Never. We've lived here nearly 2 years now. Never experienced anything. Like, it feels pretty comfortable here. Sammy said the other day, she said to me, do you ever just get this vibe like someone else is kind of here, you feel like you're not alone in this house? I was like, not at all. Like, genuinely, I get that.
Yeah.
Other places I've lived, I have got that, and you don't feel alone, you feel like someone's watching you. But here, I haven't got that at all. I said no to it. No, not at all. Like, why? Do you feel like that? And she said, oh, thinking of it, I think it's just because you creep up on me and make me jump. But I just kind of feel like I need eyes in the back of my head. I'm always kind of like watching over my shoulder.
Oh man,
yeah.
That's the same with my house. Like, even though it's like what it was from the 1930s, again, yeah, I've been there over a year now, and I've not really felt anything. It just feels like it just feels like my own sort of space.
It's a nice feeling, isn't it, to just feel comfortable in your own house without feeling like there's just another presence there.
Yeah. Well, definitely with my last house, I definitely felt like, wasn't all the time, but every now and again, if I was when we first bought the place, Sam was working abroad and I had to stay there on my own overnight. And I don't know why, I just felt so uncomfortable. And I was sleeping in the front room. And I think
you never know in a new house, do you? Like,
no. So
you never know how it's gonna go at midnight, 3 a.m, what noises you're gonna hear.
Exactly. So I didn't even have a bed. It was like a mattress on the floor with I had a sleeping bag or something. There was a TV in the corner, and I set the TV wasn't connected to any aerials or anything. It didn't have Wi-Fi, so all I had was like Harry Potter. So I'd just stick Harry Potter on until like just hoping that I'd fall asleep
before the scary parts come.
Yeah. But that house, although nothing evil happened, it just always felt like that. There was always sort of
you're not
someone
alone.
else. Yeah, someone else in the house, sort of thing. In terms of like, just be in the front room watching TV.
You could just in the back of your head hear that Michael Jackson song. Just you are not alone. Just creeping on your mind.
Yeah, I have that on repeat anyway.
So yeah, before we begin into today's episode, I'd love to ask anybody listening, do you know somebody with a really good ghost story? Or do you know somebody that knows somebody that's had a really chilling experience? It'd be amazing if you could reach out to them. If you know it's a really good story, we'd love to get them on the podcast. So feel free to message us or email us at yourghoststoriespodcast@gmail.com or visit our website, yourghoststoriespodcast.com.
Yeah, or even if you've been a guest on the show before, but you have, as I say, a friend who's got a story, jump on with them and...
more the merrier.
Yeah.
More the merrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to crack on with today's show. What have we got today, Nige?
So today we've had an email sent in from Andrew Dexter,
Old Andy.
Andy, and so I'll start reading it out.
Your ghost stories. Your ghost stories.
I heard your podcast and I love it. I got something you may want to share. Something that happened to me, my family, and friends in the 1970s. This was a truly genuine experience that occurred in, oh God, here we go, words I can't pronounce again.
It's got to be a Welsh story, hasn't it?
Bargode. I think that's it.
Let's try our best here. I've just got to move my mic 1 sec.
Something that happened to me, my family, and friends in the 1970s. This was a truly genuine experience that occurred in Bargode near... Yeah, I'm murdering this.
We're just going to have to make up as we go, I think. Let's go. Bargode near Caerphilly. How's that? Caerphilly.
Caerphilly, yeah, it
That'll
could be
do.
Caerphilly. And it convinced a skeptic and a non-believer, so it's well worth a look and needs to be documented. Are you up for documenting stuff? Should we go to this place?
Let's document it. So, as Andrew said, let me take you back. Rural Wales. Medieval times. God knows how to say this name, Nigel. How do you say
God. Google told me.
it? Go on, what does Google say?
Google says it said like this.
Welsh is such a weird language. No offence to any Welsh people.
Gwenlliw.
Gwenlliw. Okay, so let's just go for that and try and remember that. Gwenlliw was a king, a warrior. He was also unjust. He and his 300 men abducted the beautiful princess Gladys. She was innocent but pure, but her father was angry and confronted Gwenlliw. You will not marry my daughter. Gwenlliw protested, I'm a fair and just man. A battle enraged, and in time, Gwenlliw went ahead and married Gladys.
Back in the day when you can just, when you wanted to marry someone, all you had to do was
Fight their
dad. I will marry your daughter.
So anyway, they had a son. They named him, oh, here we go again, Catwig? Catwig? Should we just go for Catwig?
There's no I, but it could be.
Yeah, Catwig.
Catwig.
Let's just call him Catwig. Anyway, Catwig grew up to be a wise and pious man who was elected abbot and was responsible for more than 36 monasteries in southeast Wales. Gwenlliw and Gladys moved to Newport, and the years began to pass. By the time Gladys was in her 50s, she grew weary, and she and Glenshrew parted, which is good for us in this story because then hopefully we don't have to say their names, Gwenlliw anymore. So, Nigel, I think you should take the rest of this story.
The journey was long and hard.
Was it now? Was it? Was it just the journey?
Wow.
Or was it Catwig?
Who knows what goes on
After
in those
all his
back rows.
Rise to power. Anyway, where were we?
The long and hard journey. The journey was long and hard, but she returned to the village of
Here we go.
Gilligere, where she
Yeah,
was
I think
looked
that's pretty
after
good.
by
Gilligere.
where she was looked after by servants and shepherds. It was in Gilligere she died. She was the mother of the valleys, a place of learning, a row of dwellings, and a house of God was to be named after her in the farming village of Bargode. There was a small monastery in Bargode where French Benedictine? Oh, man.
Yeah, sure. Benedictine monks.
Benedictine monks farmed for produce and daily prayers. The monastery was named
This one looks fun.
Fargo Foix in the 15th century.
What did you call me?
Foix. In the 15th century was a farm that had a priest hole for the monks to escape to a systematic dwelling at Langclafoy Manor. Man,
I'd just love to know what happens down a priest hole. Have you ever been down a priest hole, Nige?
I don't
Been
think
invited down a priest hole?
I don't think they let me in.
Not Catholic enough.
No.
Where were we? It's
These
a bit hard with these Welsh words, isn't it?
Langclafoy Manor and St Catwig's Church in Gilligere. It's been told that one of the monks committed suicide after witnessing something and never spoke of it. He carried the guilt with him for eternity, and his ghost is at haunts. Wait, he carried the. This isn't worded. Yeah, that's it. He carried the guilt with him for eternity, and his ghost haunts the Gilfac Fargo Foire premises. William Edward Gladstone.
Sounds like quite an English name.
Yes, one that I can pronounce. Served 4 terms as Prime Minister. He died in 1898. A large 3-storey Victorian property was built on the grounds of Cardiff Road, Bargoed, a mining town in South Wales, 17 miles from Cardiff. We've been there.
We have been there a couple of times.
Yeah, a few times. 8 miles north of Caerphilly. It was completed by 1900, and by 1917, Henry Jones and his family lived there. His son was taken prisoner during World War II.
Naughty boy. Wonder what he got up to.
Fighting the Germans, I think.
It's not explained in the story. That's like... We have to reach out to Andrew and ask him to fill in the gaps. I'm joking. Let's carry on.
By 1923, a newly married couple by the name of Michael and Evelyn Kimmett lived there. They had a son, Elvin. He died at Gladstone Villa in 1924, just 4 months old. Oh, it's gone a bit dark. His funeral was a strictly private affair at the new cemetery in the village of Bedwellity. I can't. He's killing me. He's killing me.
Bedwetty.
I don't think it says wet. Well, it might say Bedwetty.
Let me carry on for you, Nigel.
Let me take
this
over.
for you. Gladstone Villa loomed ominously over the houses in Cardiff Road and towered over the former Gildar Foed Foire farm that was to become the Rafa Club, the oldest building in Bargoed. By the 1960s, the Higgs family lived there, Bill and Rita. Oh, great names those. Bill and Rita. How about them?
They're very classic for, they sound like 60s names, don't they?
They met in the 1940s. Rita was from the Ryle in North Wales, but moved to Bargoed in 1935 to 59 St Gladys Avenue. They married in 1949. Their only daughter, Caroline, was born in May 1950. She attended Bargoed North School and was to become St Gladys Junior School. Carol left school in 1965 and got a job at the bakehouse in Baldwin Street. Incidentally, where the other monastery stood, very little of it remains today. She met Douglas Dexter, who worked the night shift. They dated 3 years before marrying in Cardiff in April 1968. They moved in with her parents at Gladstone Villa. Douglas and Caroline had a son. She named him Andrew. Wait, let's put our detective hats on here, Nige.
This email was sent by Andrew Dexter.
And who's the mum and dad? Dexter's. So this guy who sent the story this is a story about his mum and dad.
True story.
That's a true story. Maybe, hopefully, we got this to our email. Did we explain that? But yeah, anyway, this came to our email, and Andrew wanted us to read it out, so it didn't kind of get lost in history without being documented. So here we are, documenting it on
murdering
the
all
internet.
the names. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, really, really sorry about this, Andrew. We're not very good at Welsh pronunciation.
I'm alright at Russian.
Yeah, we've had a bit of Russian before as well on a previous episode.
Sat with Google Translator for hours, like, how is this pronounced?
But we're getting to the good bit of the story here, I think.
Right, yeah,
let me pipe down, Nigel. Pipe down. Where were we? So yeah, they had a son, and he was named Andrew. It was then things began to occur. It started off rather quietly, and then got worse. Sounded like, people jumping onto the landing from the attic. Whatever it was, eventually occupied itself in the master bedroom, which incidentally was Bill and Rita's room. Footsteps would be heard on a daily basis, mild poltergeist activity, the occasional but rare sighting. Carol saw the full, solid figure of a monk. She described it in detail as a short figure with a hood over its head. She didn't see the face. A priest was called... I'm I'm losing it, Nige.
Yeah.
You take it.
A priest was called to Gladstone Villa and blessed the property after some prayers. Silence for a while, but it did return. A medium was called to Gladstone Villa. He went into a trance, but he could not get a name. But he confirmed that there was a presence. The family left in June 1978 when 2 local businessmen bought Gladstone Villa and changed their name. This left a profound effect on the family, and Douglas Dexter had a series of breakdowns after that. He died in 1991, just 44. This was indeed a genuine experience, and I would be delighted if you could research this. The Ghost of Gladstone Villa. Thank
by
you.
searching. So yeah, he wants people to
That's really
research this by searching the Ghost of Gladstone Villa. He says, please Google it. So if people out there want to Google it and come back to us with any information they find, we'll be happy to send this on to Andrew or talk about it more on the podcast. So yeah, this is quite it started off, a lot of deep history and hard words to pronounce, but yeah, it's quite
sorry for your loss of your father, Andrew. I can't imagine how that feels. As I say, this email, although sort of long and full of history, it's left me wondering, like, what happened there to cause a series of breakdowns. Was that from living in Gladstone Villa, and was it haunted by? It sounds like it was haunted by the monks, but yeah, there's mentions of a king and a warrior. Was his presence in the place? It's a bit of sort of open-ended, really, isn't it?
would be an interesting one to look into and to see what if other people in that area have experienced similar things. Or
That was my ankle just cracked.
well, yeah, thank you so much, Andrew, for sending this in. And like we say, anyone else got any stories to share, you're more than welcome to come and join us on the show and talk about it yourself, or like Andrew did, send your story through email.
Yep. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Your ghost stories. Your ghost story.
So it's been fun getting back on the podcast. I've really enjoyed this episode. I hope you have too, Nige. It's been fun doing it in person again, and I hope we can do a little bit more of this. And yeah, we hope everyone at home listening, or in your car, or riding your bike, or
Go for a run.
or parachuting, listening to this.
It's a big extreme parachute.
There might be one person parachuting, listening, and they're probably thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm parachuting right now," and we're talking to that person, and they probably feel quite valued as a listener to Your Ghost Stories podcast. On that note,
So, totally off subject. I just got a notification saying, "Oh my god, we just had a mini earthquake or a sonic boom or something."
who was that from?
A mother half. I don't know what she's on about.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what she's on about. I wired the cooker in last year.
God.
Nothing's happened.
Just to be clear, Nigel is an electrician.
I am, but if you've got any work that needs doing around your house,
Don't ask.
I'm
Nigel
not coming
to
around
do
your house.
it. Unless the price is right.
Four bottles of beer is
But yeah, on that note, it's been a fun episode, and we will see you next week for another episode of Your Ghost Stories.
Sleep tight.